Oh, oh, oh. If you ain't talking money, quiet down.
I can get on it right now,
Yeah. I can get on it right now. I can get you here right now. I can take your bitch right now. Right now. Right now. If you ain't talking money, quiet down. I can get on it right now. I can get you here right now. I can take your bitch right now. Bitch, I'm with the shits right now. Woo. I can get a brick right now, yeah. I can get them sticks right now. Bitch, we getting rich right now. Designer on my feet right now. Yeah, bitch, I'm on my shit right now. Woo.
I'm like I said, I'm from the suburbs, so I always wonder when you're going through that Fed case, right? And you got the lawyers, the process, the trial. I'm sure they're throwing big numbers at you. I'm sure they're throwing bigger numbers than 5 years. So how do you sleep? How do you relax? How do you?
You don't.
How do you laugh like we're laughing now and talk?
You don't. You sit there and you think about everything you've ever done in your life.
So it really does, like what I'm thinking happens, really happens. You just sit there
constantly.
And it messes with you. Okay.
But see, that's the game that most people don't understand. When you're selling dope in the world, that's not work.
Okay.
The work begins when you get locked up.
Okay.
That's the work.
Okay.
That worry. When you're out selling dope, there are no worries. I make money. I'm good. There's no problem. Everything's hunky dory.
Yeah.
But when you get locked up, that's when the work begins. That's when you clock in.
Okay. Did your fear increase after you got busted the first time and the second time? Like, did it increase? Nah, you just
the first time, you just chalked it up as part of the game. You lawyered up and you're good to go. Okay. The second case came and I was a little bit worried. But after we beat the shit out of the second state case, we were like, well, fuck it. This is part of doing business. Posse the fuck up.
Yeah.
So when the Fed stepped in, like, well, wait a minute. This is just some weed, bro. This ain't, how the Fed stepping in. The Fed cases are supposed to be reserved for the most violent.
People don't realize it's still federally illegal. It might be legal state to state, certain states, but it's still federally illegal everywhere. So your feds could still come get you.
Still came in.
It doesn't matter.
And the feds even told me when they arrested me, they're like, hey, by the time you get out, it's gonna be legal. I'm like, why the fuck are you even fucking with me right now? Like, seriously.
That is crazy. That is crazy. So, like, I always wonder what they're gonna do when it does get legalized fully by feds. Are they gonna release everybody from jail? Like, what are they gonna do?
No, because your crime happened at that time in that point in history where it's
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit, man. That's messed up. So, I listened to the 97.9 interview here in Houston, and I heard, like, what I felt, and I heard you say this on the 97.9 interview, was that your mom told you were going to go to jail and that you were going to take your brother with you.
Well, she didn't believe I'd take my brother with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So did you feel
she knew
guilty,
I was
like,
going.
Was
She
that
knew.
a guilt feeling?
Oh,
that you
yeah,
had?
there's a huge burden because what ended up happening is not only do you fuck up your life, but you fuck up everybody around you's life.
Yeah.
Like, you got to understand, I had 8 of my best friends with me on this case. Found out that 4 of them weren't really my best friends at all.
Yeah.
So they ended up turning federal witnesses. So you learn who your friends are and who you aren't, but you got to understand that, you just took away, little Timmy from his mom for 5 years.
Yes.
You just took away so-and-so
weed.
from their family, from their weed. Man, and it's all due because of my greed.
So stupid.
You got to understand, every time I got busted, I went out and bought a new house and a new car. So when I got busted, the second time, I went and bought a brand new 600 Benz. So because I'm just gangster like that. That's just a part of the game. But what ends up happening is when you get arrested, it affects other people. Like when you do time, the time you do you're not doing time, your family is doing the time. The people that you can't be at their birthday parties and stuff like that's who's doing the time. We're cool. We're eating good,
Yeah.
So that's the product. That's the problem with all that.
So, I get the feeling that you're really close with your mother. So I wonder, like, sitting her down and telling her, look, Mom, I'm about to go away for 5 years. Bernard's about to go with me. Were y'all always facing the same time? Or
Same time. Actually, I got 12 more months than my brother did because I had one more grow house on my conspiracy.
Okay.
So I actually got 12 more months than my brother
so
did.
when you had to sit her down, like, what was that like? What was her reaction? What was that like?
Well, again, growing up in my family, money was always an issue. And then here we are in the music business and money doesn't become an issue. And then the music business kind of falls apart. And then we still maintain things and still make things happen. After my first arrest, I remember going and telling my mom and my dad that I'd been arrested and, expecting to hear your parents, tell you, okay, son, shut that shit down. My father, who passed away, told me, all right, well, crank that motherfucker up, go get some more houses. Because when you're making, a couple $1 million a year off growing weed, and you're from a family that was on food stamps, how much time are you willing to sacrifice? You know,
Yeah.
and it was for my family and for whatever I was doing. So whether if they put 5 or 10 years on it, it was something I was willing to do. If I
Yeah.
told you, hey, listen, you're going to go to jail for 10 years, but at the end of the 10 years, when you come home from that, you're going to have $15 million. Are you willing to go to jail for 10 years?
Shit,
Not saying you want to go to jail.
Shit, I don't know, man.
But
I
that's
want
one
to
of those
speak.
things.
I've never been to jail, so
Most
I don't
people
know.
don't understand
I don't
that.
know.
They're never going to make $1 million in their lifetime, much less $1 million a year, much
Yeah.
less, you know. So there are always things, there's risk versus reward. And
Yeah.
for me, the reward was always greater than the risk. And
Yeah.
it wouldn't even be a problem for
That's,
me.
I mean,
to
that's
go.
the same way business too. You know, the
So-
bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. That's the way it works all the way around.
So
in
when my
business.
mom said, you know, I knew you were going to prison, I didn't think you'd take your brother with me. Because my brother really wasn't involved into
That kind of
the
stuff.
grow operation of the thing, you know?
Okay. So, going to prison, I mean, you're in a Texas prison, so Texas is in
Mm-hmm.
the South. You're a white dude with country swag, but you rap. How did that go? I mean, were you? Because when I think of the Texas prisons, I think of a lot of Mexican gangs, a lot of
Right.
black gangs, a lot of white gangs. How did they try you? Because you were in the Fed, so did they try you? Did they respect you automatically?
Well,
You know,
let me get
and
this
were
straight.
you and your brother
I'ma
locked
get-
up together?
I'm gonna get this off the rip straight. First of all, there's two things. Prison is not what you think it is.
Okay.
Okay. Prison is not a dingy, dark dungeon
Okay.
that you see on TV.
Okay.
Another thing is, you don't have to fight the biggest guy there when you walk in the door. And the second thing is, nobody's doing no ass raping over here. You know what I'm saying? So those things are out the way.
I mean, like no fist fights, nothing. Like nobody
Well,
tried you like that.
Listen, the reason all that incurs in prison is because of lack of respect.
Okay.
So for me, I didn't tell anybody who I was when I got there. People found out who I was and they talked amongst themselves. Cool, no problem. I'd engage them at that
Okay.
point. But I didn't wear, hey, I'm motherfucking toe down. I deserve special treatment. That's one way you're going to get your block knocked off. You just
Okay.
don't do that. That's stupid. That's
Okay.
suicide. You're a crash dummy. That's not even going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
So
Don't walk in there like you the shit. That's what they
yeah,
walk
I mean,
in
if
there
you
like
go
the
in
shit.
there and you do your thing and you know you get your little hustle on, cool. People respect that. And keep it. See, the person you are out here in the world, if you get locked up and go to prison, you're that same person.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nothing's changes.
Yeah.
I'm not a bitch and I'm not a snitch, so I'm already
Different-
I'm way ahead of the game by being locked up, and then
Yeah.
I know how to talk to people.
But different realities bring out different traits. So it's like, yeah, you're in a different situation. You're acting different than you normally would, but that's really you. That's just you. But you just never had that come out of you because you'd never been in a situation that required you to be like that.
So-
that's the way I feel. Like that's how I was in the hospital. It just required me to be a certain way that I'm not when I'm around my homies and we're chilling here talking. That's not the way I talk to doctors and people in the hospital and do things. It just brings a different trait out of me. So I think it's just different traits for different things, you know?
Yeah, and listen, when you get locked up, right? For me, it was a little bit easier because I understood black culture.
Yeah.
I understand white culture.
Yeah.
So I'd have a chair and a table in the black TV room, and I'd have a chair and a table in the white TV room.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
But I had the respect from both the guys
Yeah.
because I didn't go in there flaunting and being something I wasn't. Hey,
Yeah.
this is what I did. Here's who I am. Check the paper if you need to, and keep it moving.
So, how did you pass the time reading? Did you read? Did you write? And how did you not come out of jail? What I call having the shine syndrome, being a little rusty on the mic. How did you come home rusty on the mic, or were you just
No,
back
not
like
at all. Not at all.
just back spitting?
See, what happened for me is that while I was locked up, and I read my first book in prison, and I've really found out that I really love to read.
Okay, yeah.
So
I
that
love
really
reading
helped
too.
me pass time,
Yeah.
and I read stuff that I wanted to read.
What's your favorite book? You read
Probably
48 Laws of Power?
Probably the
That's
Steve
book.
Jobs book. That's probably my favorite.
What's that?
It's Steve Jobs' autobiography.
You know what I just read? I read the Angie Martinez book. I read the 50 Cent book. No. It was the Jay-Z book, but Jay-Z wasn't a part of it. Like, it was crazy. The author went in, told Jay-Z, I'm writing a book. I want you to be a part of it. Jay-Z was like, how much you going to pay me? And they talked about it. He's like, all right, I'll get back to you. And before that guy could put out his book, Jay-Z put out a book. It's like, that's a real hustler right there, man. That's
It is.
crazy.
That's what you do. So I passed the time like that, and then when I got short or when I got close to the door, is when I started getting back into writing. And I was with this older gentleman who really wanted me to focus on getting back into music when I came home. So I just wouldn't sit like a bump on a log when I got home. So maybe 2 or 3 years before I get released, I'm starting to pen more and more songs and starting to go out and doing more stuff and wreck with the music stuff and get my ears back and stuff. So while I was locked up, I wrote about 74 songs while I was locked up.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I mean, even when as far as put, beats on paper and everything like that,
And you've now used them, or?
No. When I got home, see, I was such in a flow of writing and creating when I even got short and even left that I didn't need to use any of that stuff because I was so into my game.
Okay.
Now, if I didn't do any writing and I came home, I'd have rust on me because I'm still trying to get but I'd already curved that by writing every day, and I'd try to write outside of the prison thought. When you're in prison, the only thing you think about is negative stuff. Man, I'm locked up. They won't let me out. I mean, you can't write about that same shit over and over. So I'd see an article in the paper. I would try to envision myself as that person, what that person was doing, and I'd write according to that person.
Okay.
And that's the way I kind of kept my mind kind of sharp.
So, were there any celebrities to reach out to you while you were in prison? Different people from maybe Houston, around the country, whatever. I mean,
there were certain people that came to my trial and stuff like that, and I respect that. But once I started doing time, I really kind of just withdrew a little bit because I knew I couldn't be there for anybody at that particular moment.
Okay.
So there would be fans that write every once in a while and stuff like that. But I didn't get 1,000 letters a day. I probably got 3 or 4 letters a month, and
Okay.
But what happens when you get locked up is, there's 50 people around you, and everybody's sending you money, and everything is good. And then 6 months later, there's like 20 people around you. And then like a year later, there's like 5 people around you. And then like 2 years later, there's like one.
And it's your mom.
You know what I'm saying?
Your family, somebody from your family. Yeah.
So you really know who your friends are. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And you really
that's honestly how it is in the hospital. It's crazy how much that and the hospital run together, because everything you're saying is like what happens to me. Like, I dealt with my sickness
everybody's around
you. Yeah. You start getting sick, nobody's around you, or a few people around you, and then it gets less and less and less, and it's just crazy, man. It's just that's how it works, man. When you go through tough situations, people. What I learned is when you stop having fun, is when people want to be gone. Like when you're having the fun, they want to be around you.
Of course.
When you're not having the fun, they don't want to be around you anymore.
But see, all that stuff galvanizes you to be such a better person.
Yeah, you get better from it. So you kind of think like, man, the struggle made me.
Real.
So.
Oh! If you ain't talking money, quiet down.
I can get on it right now.
Yeah, I can get on it right now. I can get you here right now. I can take your bitch right now. Right now. If you ain't talking money, quiet down. I can get on it right now. I can get you here right now. I can take your bitch right now. Bitch, I'm with the shits right now. Woo. I can get a brick right now, yeah. I can get them sticks right now. Bitch, we getting rich right now. Designer on my feet right now. Yeah, bitch, I'm on my shit right now. Woo.
But I fuck her like a lover. I was fighting, but we kiss under the cover. And baby, I don't ever play around with you. Soon as we get together, you know what's going down. She say she love when I'm up in it. Them other niggas ain't with it. She like, what's your favorite position? I'm like, baby, every position. And I love when you wash the dishes. Not because you washing the dishes. It's because I'm a little short you be wearing when you walk around in the kitchen, yeah.